Welcome back, folks, to Let's Replay Beneath a Steel Sky, and when last we left off, we finally made it down to the ground level. And so did Joey, though he forgot that he couldn't fly, and so he took the far more destructive and faster method. His circuit board is fine though, we just need to find a new robot shell to put it into. We've spoken to most of the people down here and concluded that we really need to get into the old cathedral. This guard claims he's not guarding the way in. That's a lie, he is. We also need to figure out what the gardener's up to. Even though he admitted that he's not an actual gardener, his cover story still doesn't add up. We also need to get into the St. James's Club, and to do that we must get sponsored by Mrs Piermont. So we're going to talk to her. Hello, how are you?
Excuse me.
Are you well?
Hello, darling. I don't believe we've met.
No, I'm a stranger here.
I'm Mrs Piermont, but you can call me Danielle.
There are quite a few conversation topics here, and my, are we going to get a lot more. Maybe not in this conversation, but this isn't the only time that we'll be talking to her. Let's ask how we can get out of the city. She may not be that helpful in this regard, but it does strike up a conversation.
How do I get out of the city?
Now, why would you want to do that? There's nothing in the gap but sand and savages.
But that's where I live.
Oh, how ghastly for you, my dear.
Clearly she has no idea what the gap is actually like. Let's talk about the dog.
What's the mutt's name?
Well, really? He's not a mutt. His name is Spunky.
Let's try and not insult her, shall we? Let's say that he looks just like his owner. Flattery! If she doesn't think about the statement too much.
He looks just like his owner.
What do you mean by that?
Well, we could say this. Why not?
He's really cute and fluffy.
Flattery will get you nowhere, young man.
Well, she saw through that. It was worth a try, though. Let's ask about being sponsored. I doubt this is going to work, considering the great first impression that we've made.
Would you sponsor me for the club?
Oh no, I couldn't do that.
Why not?
As you said yourself, you're a stranger. Why, you could be a terrorist. No, it's out of the question.
Well,
Excuse me.
we have to talk to you some more. Because we have something to tell you. That we are Robert Overman. Prepare for a plot dump. It's coming soon.
Do you know someone called Overman?
Why, yes, I do. He worked with my husband, Professor Piermont. Why? Are you interested in Overman?
He was my father.
I'm sorry, but I don't believe you. Overman's only son died in an accident.
That was no accident, Mrs. Piermont. It was deliberate sabotage by security. My mother was killed, but I survived. And I've read a document which proves it.
Incredible! Your mother was a great friend to me. If you're really Robert Overman, I'll sponsor you. Meet me at my apartment.
We shall do so. Let's go over there and have a really long conversation. Oh, you think I'm joking about how long this conversation is going to be?
Oh, come to Mummy, Spunky.
It's going to be a long one, and we're going to have to wait for the dog to get here. This could take a little while. The dog is rather slow. In the meanwhile, we're just going to admire the scenery. It's a very nice pool/pond. Still not sure if it's one or the other. It could still be both. And I imagine all of these plants are actually plants, considering we're on the ground level. There's the dog.
Oh, come to Mummy, Spunky.
And in the dog goes. We can probably use the button now to get in. It's worth a go.
Hello. Who is this?
It's Well, obviously it's a pizza delivery.
Your pizza, madam.
What kind of pizza?
Quattro formaggi, with olives and chilies.
My favorite. But I'm on a diet.
Oh well, let's try again.
Hello. Who is this?
Clearly it's security.
Security, open up.
Mrs Piermont is not at home. Mrs Piermont is not at home.
You know, I think that line should not have repeated. That might have been an error.
Hello. Who is this?
Okay, we're done joking around. It's the dog warden, clearly.
It's the dog warden.
What are you talking about?
I've had complaints about your dog. He's a health risk, madam.
I'm not opening the door, so go away.
Alright, we'll stop joking around now. Let's go in.
Hello. Who is this?
It's Robert.
It's me, Robert.
Come right in, Rob. I've been scared silly by cranky visitors.
I wonder who they could have been.
Welcome to my humble little home, Robert. You know, I remember you as a baby, Robert.
I've grown a bit since then.
I'm sure you have. You must have so many questions to ask me.
Yes, I have.
Oh, we do. There are going to be a lot of questions here. Let's start with this one.
What was the professor working on?
Didn't I tell you? Helmut was the designer of LINC. It was his dream, but he died before it was realized. Your father became the project leader.
Well, we now know our father's name. Richard. Let's ask about our father's duties when dealing with LINC.
So my dad was responsible for LINC?
Yes, he stepped into Helmut's shoes. LINC reached completion on the very day you were born. From then on, Richard changed. He spent more time with LINC than he did with his wife and baby.
Well, that doesn't sound ominous at all. It's very ominous.
Why did my mother try to escape?
But she did her best to cope. But she wasn't the same after Richard's rejection. The authorities never approved of her marriage either, because she came from Hobart. Eventually, she decided to return home.
So the bastards had her killed.
You're overwrought, Robert. Would you like some paracetamol?
I don't want analgesic. I want answers.
We'll be getting plenty of answers. Let's ask about Richard Overman, shall we?
Is my father still alive?
I've not seen him since my husband's funeral. What a magnificent occasion. I wish I could have stayed until the end.
You walked out of your husband's funeral?
I had no choice. Poor Spunky hates cathedrals. All that incense and droning makes him bilious. No sooner had I got him outside than up came his breakfast.
It's a good thing he didn't chuck in church.
Don't interrupt, darling. Well, when I got back, they were all gone. Congregation, choir, coffin and all.
Sounds like you cared about your dog a little more than you did your husband. Let's ask about why she didn't want us to visit the club.
Why didn't you want to visit the club?
The memories are too painful.
Did you go there with the professor?
Yes, we met in a club. Oh, he was a handsome young graduate. And I was a flower in my first bloom. He plucked me from the garden of innocence.
I see what you mean. The memories are painful.
Are you going to sponsor us? You're probably going to, but it's a question worth asking.
Are you gonna sponsor me now?
If that's what you want. I'll telephone the manager and make the arrangements. This won't take a moment.
That's good, because there's something we need to do.
Is that Mr. Coulston? Danielle Piermont here. I have a friend I wish to sponsor.
There are a number of things that we can look at here, and we're going to look at all of them. Like the sofa. It's a very comfortable looking sofa.
Now that looks comfortable.
Can we sit down?
I'd better not sit. She might take advantage of me.
Let's not sit down. Let's look at the statue instead.
It's an ancient Greek statue, made of fiberglass.
And we all know the ancient Greeks used fiberglass, eh?
Nothing I could use that statue for.
Indeed. There's a door we can't look at. There's a tree we can't look at. There's the dog bowl that we can look at. Let's try looking at it.
It's full of biscuits and dog drool.
Would you believe me if I said that we need those biscuits?
If I pick up the bowl, the contents will slop all over my hands.
We don't want the bowl. We do want the biscuits, though.
Little crunchy doggy snacks.
Let's grab them.
That dog doesn't want to share his biscuits.
But maybe we can distract the dog, because there's a VCR here and a monitor. Miss Piermont's distracted.
These big wall screens certainly are popular.
They're very popular, and she won't notice if we put something in the VCR. We can't do anything with the monitor as it is, but the VCR we can do something with.
It's another of those easy-to-program machines, which select the record time and channel at random.
I get the feeling you don't like them, Foster. Call it a hunch.
None of the buttons do what you'd expect them to.
Definitely a hunch. Let's distract the dog, shall we? With this that we got from Lamb. There goes the dog. Let's grab those biscuits. Marvelous. And we'll have a look at them. The doggy snacks are hard brown biscuits with a coating of the dog's abundant saliva. Can we take this back? Maybe? Let's try.
None of the buttons do what you'd expect them to.
No, I think this video is just going to play forever. Which is surprising considering the fact that it didn't play forever before. But ignoring that minor plot hole, we're just going to leave. She's too busy to notice. So off we go! That actually didn't take as long as I thought it would. We can now get in to the club. But before we do that, we're going to do something rather sneaky, as we do need to get access to that cathedral at some point. Let's use those dog biscuits and put them here. Why? Oh, no reason.
It's pivoted in the middle, like a seesaw.
I thought there might be a different bit of dialogue with the dog biscuits there, but no different dialogue. Let's go over to that club now. We should be able to go in. Maybe the doorman will be a bit nicer to us now. Maybe.
Excuse me.
Hello, Mr. Overman. How did you know my name? You're a member now, sir. It's my business to know all our members.
Can I go in now?
Certainly. But you're in for a disappointment.
How come?
It looks smart with the lights turned low, but in daylight, it's a flipping toilet.
So we're not gonna have a great time in there.
Never mind.
Now, Miss Piermont is out and about again, that's good. Let's pop in here and say hello. Who's here? There's Man, there's Gallagher. Now, we've seen Gallagher before. There's a woman, there's a barman, there's a band, and there's the jukebox. There's also a door and a metal plate. There's a lot to look at here. Let's look at the band. Down you go!
They look really happy. Or stoned.
Can we interact with them?
Hey guys, play some rock and roll.
They're not going to, are they? I don't think so. There's a jukebox here.
The select button isn't lit.
So we can't use the jukebox right now. That's important. Means we can't solve any puzzles while we're here.
Pressing the buttons doesn't achieve anything.
Fair enough. Can we look at the metal plate? Maybe it will tell us where this door goes. It likely will.
There's a thumb-sized indentation in the plate.
Ah, I doubt that's gonna work for us.
It doesn't react to my thumbprint.
We're gonna need a different thumbprint.
There's no sign of a lock or a card slot.
Fair enough. Can we open it anyway? No. So there's nothing we can do but head back up and talk to these people, including Gallagher. There's also a glass there. That seems important. We'll talk to these people first, though.
Hi, mind if I join you?
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Overman. What do you think of the club?
I think we should say that we don't like the music.
I don't like the music.
Neither do I. They should have retired years ago. I'm Colston, the manager of the club.
Pleased to meet you.
Anything else we can talk to you about? That's a good question.
How do I get out of this city?
Can you see I'm busy?
I'll take your turn for you.
And lose the game for me?
You're gonna lose anyhow.
Don't be so sure, Gallagher. I've got something up my sleeve.
I knew you were cheating.
Well, so are you.
Did you notice that one of those voice lines cut off right at the end? Interesting. Let's look at the glass.
There were greasy fingerprints on the glass.
We need that. We need that for those fingerprints. Hello, Gallagher. Fancy seeing you here again. There's nothing we can talk to you about, though.
Never mind.
We can talk to you.
Excuse me.
How are you?
Hi, mind if I join you?
Well, hello yourself. They call me Babs.
Pleased to meet you.
Let's ask about that door.
Where does the locked door lead to?
Oh, that's the wine cellar.
So we can go in there if we have a thumbprint and get some wine. That's something we could do.
Excuse me.
Anything else we can talk to you about? No.
See you later.
Oh, don't count on it.
Fair enough. Let's talk to the barman. Can we get something to drink?
Excuse me.
That's a good question.
Can I have a drink, please?
No chance.
Why not?
House rules.
So you're not allowed to serve me something to drink?
Excuse me.
Why not?
Do the rules prohibit me from drinking?
No, you can drink all you want, but I can't serve you.
Why not?
You are the bartender, right?
Well, I'm not the cabaret.
So why can't you get me a drink?
How come you can get a drink and I can't?
I told you. It's the house rules. Colston would fire me if I gave you a drink.
But why?
I'm gonna complain about you.
Please yourself.
Let's ask about the band.
What are the band called?
The Hot Club Quartet.
But there's only 3 of them.
Yeah, the saxophonist OD'd last month.
Oh.
Did the saxophonist OD on drugs?
No. Too much sax. He got overexcited and ruptured his lungs.
Oh. Let's change the topic and talk about that wine cellar door, eh?
Where does the locked door lead to?
To the wine cellar. Colston's the only one who can open it. It's programmed to read his fingerprints.
So we're going to need Colston's fingerprints, eh?
Never mind.
How are we going to get them? We'll have to think about that, and when we come back, folks, we've got to do something else. Because we've got to try and get into that cathedral. Can you hear the dog barking? We'll be finding out why in just a moment, when we go over there and see the cunning trap that we've laid. But that'll be next time. But when we come back, more exploring the ground level of the Eerie Tower block. More solving puzzles, more figuring out the truth, and no more exposition for a little while at least. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.